Welcome guys to another episode of Evan Kale is a Pawn Star. If this is your first time watching the program, my name's Evan Kale. I work in the gold and silver business, and this is my show where I educate you about the business, I let you watch me do deals, and I'm gonna probably teach you something new and try and keep you entertained along the way. So, it's a Saturday afternoon today. I've got some packages to ship out for my eBay business. I think you all are kind of getting familiar with the routine of the show. I have no idea what's gonna walk in today. It could be anything from old silverware to old collectibles to maybe even an old gun. I'm gonna keep the camera rolling and we're gonna try and make some money today. So let's have a fun adventure. So I got one offer on eBay right now. It's a set I bought the other day. Person is offering me $400, which I'm not going to take because of eBay fees. So I'm going to decline it. But this set has an interesting story behind it. I paid $12 for it and it's worth about $500. This guy had all this crap and I was going through it and it was all crap. And I saw this box. Usually when I see this stuff, it's boomer shit. So I just looked at it and I said, I'll give you 12 bucks for that. And he said, okay. But then upon opening it later, I was looking at it, I thought, you know, that looks a lot like silver and gold. It doesn't have a certificate with it. It hurts the collectability. It doesn't really hurt the value. But no, I did my research and sure enough, this is gold. So something that I paid $12 on is worth about $500. And you might be saying, well, Evan, you're a pirate. You ripped him off. No, I offered him a price and he said, okay. It was an honest mistake. I would have offered him more if I would have known and looked at it. It's just, I was busy. The guy had so much crap and I just wanted to save myself some time. So I threw out a price and he said, okay. Now if he sees this and he wants to come back, I mean, I guess you could say we both made a mistake. I should have paid him more and he should have known what it was worth. I'd give him 200 more bucks if he sees this and wants to come back because he's mad. But when you come in here, it's a shark's tank. If I offer you a price, you don't have to take it. And if you do take it and it turns out you took a bad price, that's on you. If you're going to come into a place like this, you have to know what your stuff is worth. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to buy it for as cheaply as possible. It's just my job. It's the name of the game. It's 1921 Morgan silver dollar in the fancy packaging. I got an offer for 40 bucks. I'm asking 50, but I'm gonna take that 40. Okay, so that's sold. I found a bunch of these old half dimes from the 1850s. I found like a whole book of them and I listed them. There were probably 400 coins in the book and I parted it out. All the really expensive items were a la carte and then all the cheaper ones were grouped together like this. So I'm asking 150 and I got an offer for half that. And frankly, I was asking too much, but this is too low. So I'm gonna counter at 105. I'm not going any lower. Okay, these came in, this guy in a suitcase dragged in about $10,000 worth of silver this week, and a lot of it was coins that were just like, somebody had tried to melt them down and they did not do a proper job, and so a lot of these coins are just like freaking burnt and charred and like the worst grade possible, and you'd only buy it for the silver. Like a couple of them are bent, so it's for the silver. I'm asking 100 bucks. It's probably worth about 80, 83, done deal, sold. Okay, so I'm glad we got that sold. The owner got kind of irritated with me about that. He was like, well, you know you can refuse stuff. I was like, but you've taught me to buy everything. That was silver, I bought it. Let's see here, this guy's offering me on another coin. So when you make multiple offers and they're a little low, but you're trying to buy a bunch of stuff from me, I'll work with you, I'll do it. You know, my job, my prerogative is to just keep selling, keep moving stuff, keep the business going. So I don't get attached to anything. I'm not married to any prices. I can tell by the background in this photo that I listed this like a year ago, so I gotta make sure that I have this 1949 D quarter. I sometimes don't have items that I sold on eBay and people sometimes get really, really pissed. So let's see if I got it. All right, looks like I do have it. I'm asking 50, they offered me 40 with $4 shipping, so I'll make $2 on the shipping. After eBay fees, 38 bucks, fine. The thing that makes me really nervous with any graded coin and why I'm not buying graded coins right now is I foresee disaster on the horizon. So what's going to happen to collectibles in such a dire time? My thought is they're gonna go down the toilet because nobody's gonna have money or time for collecting things. I think the whole collector market is gonna just get rat fucked in the next year with how turbulent things are going to get. Or maybe I'm wrong and maybe everything will go back to normal. Looks like this is the last thing that I have an offer on. This is kind of silly. This is a limited edition Kevin Garnett bar of silver. They put Kevin Garnett, the basketball player, in a 4.25 tri-ounce bar of silver, and they only made 150 of them. It's from 1996. So occasionally I get these really rare pieces of collectible silver, and they're just that. They're collectible novelties. They're not really, I mean, it's worth the silver. It's not worth much more, but I'm asking a heavy premium because there's only 150 of these made. And art pours, as I call them, are like when an artist will make a silver piece. Something kind of like this where it's a really fancy design and they only make a limited number of them. These go for big bucks on eBay. Like they always are way more than the price of silver. Last I checked, this was going for $100 as a 2-ounce piece. So I'm asking $300 on this, and my offer is for $120, which is a slap in the face, so I'm gonna reject that. This is a receipt from 1889 from Tiffany Company at Union Square, New York. The owner dug it out of it, like one of his many drawers that just has tons of like, there's so many random antiques around here, it's crazy. So he's just like, here, I found this in a drawer. 75 bucks right now is the bid. I didn't know what it was worth, so I put it up for $1, and it's turning into a bidding war. And there is still 3 days left on the auction, so that tells me, I bet this will go for 200 bucks. So let's talk a little bit about Tiffany Company. I'm sure some of you guys have heard it. Tiffany Company goods come in the signature robin's egg blue bag or box. They are very, very expensive items of jewelry, luxury items. They make lamps, they still make silverware, very expensive stuff. So I've cautioned you guys on my show, never ever buy silver jewelry. It's always a ripoff, with one exception. Tiffany Company stuff, when it comes in here, my heart skips a beat because I know we're gonna make a lot of money on it. I, no matter what, will always buy silver just for the silver content, because for the most part we melt the stuff down, but the Tiffany Company stuff are just really nice sought after goods that I always put on eBay, and we always do really well on them. So like this necklace right here, I paid 10 bucks for it. It went for 120 online. I bought a little charm, it was this big, I paid 5 bucks for it the other week. Went for 150. So Tiffany Company on the secondhand market holds its value really well. To give a little history, Tiffany Company was started in 1837 by Charles Tiffany with a $1,000 loan from his father. Now that loan came from a cotton mill that was run by slaves, but well, he kind of made up for it later. So he started the company, it was immediately very successful in New York City, the company expanded, and in the 1860s, the company supplied the Union Army with sabers, surgical instruments, and flags. So I guess he kind of made up for his roots a little bit. The company continued to grow in popularity. Backtracking, in 1845, they created the Blue Book. It was one of the first catalogs, and that's where this color comes from. It was a magazine of all their goods that were for sale. It was a mail order catalog. In 1868, Tiffany Company was the first American company to win the Exposition Universelle in Paris for their silverware. The company is still around to this day. I'm sure you've heard of them. Last year, the revenue was $4.4 billion. They're a publicly traded company. They ain't going anywhere. So when Tiffany Company stuff comes in, I get very excited because the resale on it is amazing. If you're ever at a garage sale and you see the signature blue bag, scoop it up. The thing is, some of the stuff is fake. I have come across some fake stuff, but for the most part, like it doesn't get faked as often as Rolex, as far as I can tell. So never buy silver jewelry, but if you do get silver jewelry, get Tiffany Company stuff because it will hold its value in terms of its retail price. Well, I shouldn't say that because something like this, I bet this cost at least $500. And again, I bought it for 10 bucks. This right here is a Byzantine gold piece from the Byzantine Empire. I sold this for 500 bucks. I was asking 7, but I've been sitting on it for a while and I just want to move it. This is probably the oldest coin I have in the shop, and now it's going out. But I'm running a business, not starting a collection. Sound like a broken record, but like I tell people on TikTok, buy gold and silver because it's one of the oldest forms of money. This sold for a lot of money, not just because it's an old cool collectible, but because it's gold. The only thing that's going to disrupt the price of gold and silver, in my opinion, is space mining. And that's not gonna be, that's 50 years out at least. At least. I don't care how determined Elon Musk says he is. That shit ain't easy to do. All right, looks like I got 9 items going out. PCGS MS69 First Strike Eagle. You would think I would organize this better. You would think. There it is. To the untrained eye, it looks like this is just a big mess, but believe me, there's a method to my madness. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's what's going on. I already packaged this yesterday. This is a 2006 quarter set. This is some worthless boomer shit. This is a 2005 First Strike PCGS Eagle. A First Strike means it was one of the first coins put out by the new dies. A First Strike is not particularly more valuable. I don't buy these graded coins when they're First Strike. It's like an extra fancy thing that doesn't matter. And frankly, if you're gonna buy one of these coins, make sure it's 70 out of 70. Anything less, there's no point in getting it graded. It doesn't really command much of a premium for 69 out of 70. As we've covered, like any other coin, 69 out of 70 would be great. But when they're these eagles like this, they make so many of these, and usually they're not touched by human hands. In fact, most of them are, I wouldn't say most of them are 70s, but most of them are in the 67, 68, 69 region. So like if somebody brings me in an MS69 that's an eagle, I won't pay them extra, or like maybe I'll pay them $1 or $2 extra, but that's it. This antique sterling bracelet, which I guarantee the owners had for at least 30 years. And this 1867 Indian head penny, which is in very good condition, VG. Might sound good, but very good is actually a low grade. As we've covered with pennies, you want them to be red. This one is quite brown. You can see the details on it are fairly worn down. You can see the face. You can read what's on the back. I mean, this coin looks like it's been cleaned. It's got a weird shine to it, and that's not the plastic film. It's not something I would buy. And then this, which is total boomer shit. It's a 1976 $2 bill and the stupid fancy thing. 76 is too new to be collectible. I buy them because people buy them, but they're really not worth much more than their face value, even if they're uncirculated. Shit, I forgot. Our internet went out on Thursday, and I did not have time to fix it yesterday. Or like I tried to call Comcast, and it was like, please wait on hold for 3 hours. So yeah, we're gonna use the neighbor's Wi-Fi, because fuck them. Fuck them. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm looking at this. Even though I literally just wrote this, this does not look like my own handwriting. What's wrong with you, Evan? You've changed. I have changed. For the better. Fuck, y'all should have seen me 5 years ago. I was such a fucking mess. I'm gonna drive Uber in a BMW and make a lot of money and tell stories. Cool. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Can I help you?
Oh, I just have some gold and I'm just curious what I could get for it.
Yeah, let me take a look. Okay. Probably not a ton. There's not a lot of weight. Do you know what kind of carat they are?
They're Tiffany's, so they're like,
oh.
I may try to sell them otherwise.
They're Tiffany. Yeah, I see Tiffany will pay a little more for that. 750. These rings are stamped 750, which means they are 75% pure or 18 karat. How much are we trying to get on them?
I have no idea.
There's $176 worth of gold in them.
Okay.
Because
so those I may try to sell.
Well, what's your price on them? $250?
Let me look it up and just see how much.
Okay, I literally never ever pay more for gold, but again, these are Tiffany companies, so I would be willing to.
Let me think about it
sure.
while you look at this other stuff. This, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think I mean, the chain I know is not gold. I don't even know about that other thing.
Looks like it's gold filled. You can kind of tell when it gets this sort of finish on it. I'll just make a pile with the gold plated stuff and I can look at it later. 12 karat. You got 500 here.
Okay.
And this.
What percentage do you do compared to? Oh, you know what? I don't think that one's gold.
This one?
This
one's stamped 10.
Oh, it is? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's holding. Got $100 in this one. Let's see. 585. That's 14. I also know we are better than the other shops around town.
Yeah.
Especially the pawn shops. Okay, this one's not terribly expensive. This one's $50.
Okay.
This one's $3.90. This one's a little harder because the stone's got weight. Sometimes I get these pieces where the stone itself encompasses a lot of the weight. It's a little harder to judge, but just kind of got to guess. $100. It's $250. 1,410 for everything.
Okay.
All right, I just need a form of ID. Double count. So here's everything I just bought. All this gold here will probably make about $500 off of it. The Tiffany company stuff I took a chance on. This stuff, I've been seeing a lot of it lately. It commands a hell of a premium online. I bet these cost well over $1,000. These two tiny little rings that are worth like $180 in gold. I paid more than they're worth just for the stamp Tiffany company. So all this stuff I'm gonna put in the scrap bucket. Maybe the owner will wanna keep this. I'll let him see it when he gets back. This is going on eBay for sure. And this is going on eBay because it's gold filled and it's a fun item. And I'm gonna list these Tiffany company rings that I just bought. This will probably be the only thing I'm gonna list today. I have listed a lot of items this week, so I'm kind of burnt out on it. Okay, so it weighs 3.93 grams. So let's go list an item. Okay, so these are tiny, size 3.5. I've been really pleasantly surprised with my auctions with Tiffany company stuff, but I also paid the woman, I think $250. Like I paid more than these are worth, which I literally never ever do, ever. I've never done that before. I'm gonna ask $750 and I'm gonna see what happens. I will probably take the first offer I get. Like if I get an offer for 500, I'll just take it. But sometimes when I list this kind of stuff, it sells within minutes, and I have a sneaking suspicion that will happen. Show you guys something else cool. We bought this yesterday. This is a 1933 souvenir key to the World's Fair. They used to give these out as like commemoratives to people at the World's Fair. This guy came in with a whole bag full of knickknacks, and this was in it, so we gave him 50 bucks for all he had. This is probably worth about 50 bucks. All right, so let's get into the main lesson of today's episode, commemorative coins. Now, I'm sure those of you coming from TikTok saw my viral video about these. The quote-unquote Kennedy half dollar with the COVID mint mark. For those of you who haven't seen the TikTok, I'll show it to you because it became my most successful TikTok ever. My order from the US Mint just came. We're looking for the 2020 coronavirus mint mark. They're going for thousands of dollars online. They're really rare. This would be a nice surprise because I didn't win on any of the scratch-offs on my birthday. Here they are, sealed rolls from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Totally safe. Holy shit! I found one. No way! No frickin' way! Ah! So that's gotten over 2 million hits so far, and I'm getting paid on TikTok now, so I've made some money off of it. But I fooled everyone with this. I got a tip from another TikToker that any video with this coin in it is gonna do really well. And shit, they weren't kidding. So what I did, I ordered a roll of Kennedy half dollars from the US Mint. It cost me $40. They sent me $10 in Kennedy half dollars from the Philadelphia Mint, and they sent me $10 and half dollars from the Denver Mint. And what I did was I got this coin separately from the TikToker who tipped me off, whose name shall remain anonymous because he asked to. He actually sent me 3 of them. And so what I did was I slid open the roll on the bottom side, I took one Kennedy out, and I slipped this one in, and then I staged it like I was opening it, and I explained it, you know, you saw the video. So I staged it. I staged the whole thing, and people think that it's real, and this coin expert on TikTok was not amused with the joke. He was like, me, you're giving people false information. So the reason why you come to my channel here is because anything you see on TikTok that's a hoax, I'm gonna explain it on here. I'm not gonna explain it on there. I'm gonna let the mystery run. If you know anything about coins, you would know that the US government would never, 1, put something in color on a coin. They're traditionally just silver. 2, they wouldn't put a virus cell that's killing hundreds of thousands of Americans on a coin. Like, that's just really tasteless. That said, they have made some tasteless commemoratives. So what is a commemorative? What is a true commemorative coin? And like, how does it come about? A commemorative coin is when the US Mint wants to commemorate a historical event or person or something else relating to the nation's history, like parks or landmarks, stuff like that. And what they have to do is they have to go through Congress to get approval to make the coin, and they will generally make a very low mintage. And they've made some great commemoratives, and they've made some really fucking bad ones. So let's take a look at some. This is a 1936 Arkansas Statehood commemorative. They only made about 9,500 of these. This sold for 80 bucks. It's a very rare coin commemorating 100 years of the state of Arkansas. This is also a coin we've had for sale for a long time, and it finally sold. The obverse, or the heads of the coin, features a quadpa Indian and Lady Liberty. The reverse features an eagle, and interestingly, this design was not well received. They had to redesign the coin because the original design was so poor, they just didn't like it. And they didn't like this one either. But at this point it was like, okay, well, we've already gone through it twice. We've spent taxpayer money, let's just put the coin out. I mean, I don't really like this coin either. I like commemoratives because they're cool and they're weird, and this coin is rare. I don't love this design. So these are all various commemoratives. This is an Olympic 1984 commemorative. Pretty much every Olympic Games, they make commemorative coins. They make them in silver, they make them in gold, they make them clad as well. This one's in silver. Usually they come in a fancy set, in these Olympic sets. This is just a loose coin. We bought it for the metal value. They're not particularly rare. Usually when the Olympics that the coins are made for happens, there's a huge demand for them, and then the demand just completely falls off after the Olympics conclude. I'll show you a couple bad ones. This is a Christopher Columbus 1893 World Exposition half dollar. It's commemorating Christopher Columbus at the World Exposition for the World's Fair, where, interestingly, if you've ever read the book Devil in the White City, the 1893 World's Fair was where serial killer H.H. Holmes killed all of his victims and basically ruined the fair. I mean, they say that this fair was haunted. I don't think this coin is haunted, or cursed, I should say, not haunted. So this is a commemorative. It's pure, it's 90% silver. This is worth worth about $10, but if it's uncirculated, it's worth like 50 bucks. It's got, you know, the two worlds, the old world and the new world on the reverse, along with, I think it's the Mayflower. And this one's pretty bad. This is the Stone Mountain commemorative, which commemorates Stone Mountain in Georgia, basically the Mount Rushmore of the Civil War, the Mount Rushmore of the Confederacy. It's basically glorifying the Confederacy. So they made this one in 1925. Yeah, it's pretty rare. They did not make very many of these. It says on the back, 1,314,709 were minted. Most of them are pretty worn down when they're, I mean, yeah, they go for about 40 bucks or more. I'm going to briefly share my Stone Mountain experience because I went there last year and I thought it was hilarious and ridiculous. My friend lives in Atlanta. I went to go visit him and we went hiking on a Saturday around Stone Mountain, and I kept joking, we're going to call it Stoned Mountain, for reasons I'm sure you can imagine. But we walk around this big nature park, and then we get to the monument itself, and like I can kind of hear music as we're getting close. So we show up, and it's this, you know, big fucking mural. It's like not finished because they lost the war. And they're blasting country music from the base of the mountain, like just these giant speakers blasting this atrocious country music. And there's all these kids playing in like a snow machine. It's a 70-degree day in December. There's all these kids sledding from like a snow machine, pumping out snow. They're literally whitewashing history, as far as I can tell. And it's just like this fucking tasteless country music blasting. It was like, my friend's name is David. I was like, David, is this a joke? This looks like something out of South Park. That was my Stone Mountain experience. My Stoned Mountain experience. All right, so I'll show you guys this one. This is a Thomas Edison commemorative with the box. A silver dollar. It's a proof coin. You can tell it was struck twice just by how reflective it is. So it's got Thomas Edison on the obverse and what looks like a Tesla coil on the reverse, which is hilarious because Thomas Edison is the nation's greatest thief, an inventor and thief. I've never taken this out of the case. That looks like a Tesla coil. That is very encompassing of his life. So the deal is, if these coins have any kind of a face value, like this has a face value of $1, I could go spend it as $1. Congress has to approve it. They can't just make it. But if it's a commemorative made from precious metal but it has no face value on it, then the mint can just make it. But they make very, very, very few of those coins. So like I have this Thomas Edison commemorative. I have a General Eisenhower commemorative in there somewhere. This is a 9/11 national medal commemorating 10 years after 9/11, 2001 to 2011. This is actually a very pretty coin. This did not need congressional approval because this does not have a face value on it. So I personally really like commemorative coins. I just think they're very cool and unique and weird. I don't think I have any in my own collection yet, but they're fascinating. I love it when they come in. I love going through them, and sometimes I'm very pleasantly surprised. Like some of them just on the secondhand collector market, they're very valuable, but other ones are not. So sometimes I buy stuff for very cheap, like that Constitution coin set, which I legitimately had no idea there was gold in that. And then I open it up and it turns out there's gold in it, or it turns out they're very, very, very low mintage, like they only made 10,000 of them and they command a huge premium online. That's the magic of commemorative coins from the United States government. I'm going to eat my lunch now. Just kind of one final parting thought on something like this. If you ever see a coin very expensive and it's something you've never heard of and it's some kind of obscure commemorative, just use common sense. Would the US government put a fucking virus cell that is still actively killing people on a coin? No. Although, you know, the realm of possibility is getting more and more broad these days. They wouldn't do that. So this is, like I said, this is fake. Be wary of fake commemoratives. They're out there. Do your research. It's actually very easy to deduce if a coin is real or fake. I just bought all of these yesterday. These are Canadian quarter-ounce gold pieces commemorating the War of 1812. I joked to the guy, well, then there should be just the White House burning on the back. That would be a good reverse. This right here, I got yesterday in a trade. The guy traded me 37 eagles and this for 1 ounce of gold. And this is a proof 70 deep cameo, meaning the field or the area in the background where the woman is standing up from. Field has mirror-like properties. So this is a perfect coin. I'm charging $1,100 for it. That's a fair price. Current market price on gold is about $1,950, so there's a bit of a premium on this coin. Like if I had the money, I would buy this coin. This is a really nice coin. All right, we're going through some coins. We got some Morgans. These are 90% silver halves, dimes. I'm buying 18 times face value on the junk, except for the Morgans. 26 each on those. This is a, funny we were just talking about this, a Dwight D. Eisenhower commemorative. Silver, 26.73 grams, so 0.76 of a troy ounce, 20 bucks. Let's add up the face value on these. $9.40 times 18, 70. Looks like this is some smelted metal, and I usually don't buy this stuff, but I know this gentleman, so I'm gonna buy it from him. I'd buy this one at 50 bucks. Yeah, I'll pay on the silver price. I can't do any better.
Wait, it's like 15 bucks. I'm good.
Probably, yeah.
I'm good, dude. You don't even have to weigh it.
Evan,
Yeah.
what would you buy a 25-ounce silver bar for?
$6.50. I get you 33 bucks on this one. Yeah, the silver jewelry is always a scam.
I know, dude.
All right, let me add this up again. We're at $444.
Cool.
Sounds good. Let me get some cash.
Thank you, man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 40.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Good to see you.
And what is all that about?
Oh, I do YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't show anyone else's face but mine.
It's cool.
Like a one-person show. So got these junk silver buckets. These are all 90%. I'm selling them today at 21 times face value. I bought for 18. So when I get these circulated silver coins, I just drop them. Well, it's about time for me to get out of here for the day. It's a Saturday, so it's a half day, and I have things to do today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure you hit the notifications button. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Evan Kale, and I will see you guys for another episode of Evan Kale's a Pawn Star. Any questions? Put them in the comments below.